from the heart of Orlando, Florida, you are listening to the most electrifying show in media, A Neighbor's Choice. And I am your host, David Gornoski, your neighbor here in sunny Central Florida in beautiful Orlando. And I am joined once again by my Chief Science Officer and all things technology guru, aerospace engineer and physicist over at NASA, Dr. Wei Ping Yu in the house.
Thank you, David, for having me again.
So glad to see you again. And we are embarking on another adventure. We're going to learn a lot of things like we do each week on A Neighbor's Choice. We are the show that gets things done because we don't want to sit in mental prisons of just saying, well, let's just let Big Daddy government take care of our lives. Big business, they'll figure it all out. They'll tell us what to eat. They'll tell us how to vote. They'll tell us everything, which way, this way, that way, that way. They always want to run our lives, but we don't have to submit to that. We can solve problems ourselves by having the courage to roll up our sleeves and solve things ourselves. And that includes everything from political problems, economics, or even justice issues. So on this program, you'll see that we'll have a wonderful story with a lady named Lazara Ordaz, who is in prison for decades now for a nonviolent offense. She'll be on the program later today. We'll have her daughter here to tell her story about how she was unjustly imprisoned for decades. The daughter hasn't seen her since she was 2, so she has longed to see her mother, and we're going to have that program, that show will be on our program today. I had the privilege of being at the radio show today, the convention for the National Radio Broadcasters Association. They put it on here in Orlando. It's going on all this week, and it's a wonderful program because it just reminded me of the power of radio, that, you know, all these, you know, shiny new toys like podcasts and Twitter and all these things are great, but really radio is still the dynamite after all these years. I remember that 80s show where they said the song "Video Killed the Radio Star." Well, no, look, we don't have VHS tapes, but we still have radio, you know, and radio is still listened by more people than even TV. And it's a way for people who have alternative opinions that are not corporately approved by the big establishment folks. We can still have our voice. And that's what we do each week on A Neighbor's Choice. And I am so excited for our first guests here, Diamond and Silk. The YouTube stars are with us tonight.
Wow. Thank you all. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so great to hear from you guys. You guys are big heroes of mine. You know why? Because you represent a new sea change in media. You didn't want to just sit and let the gatekeepers hand out what to think and how to vote and all this. You decided to turn on the camera yourself, starting on YouTube and Facebook, and it's exploded with millions of followers now, and tell the news like you see it and not waiting on other people to tell you how to think.
That's right. We started doing that back in 2015, so you can say that we was a part of that revolution. We have the battle scars to prove it, and now that you see everybody else making videos, they just followed off the Diamond and Silk. They are evolving. You see them in the evolution of what we did back in 2015, because everybody really and truly want to make America great again.
Right, and that's what you guys do. You know, you did not allow, you know, conventional wisdom says, oh, if you're black, you have to vote Democrat. You have to be into socialism. You said, not doing that, right?
Absolutely not. Listen, you know, we had a black president for 8 years that handed out food stamps and Obama phones like it was candy. And he didn't even realize that people, they didn't need a handout. What they needed was a hand up. What they needed was economic opportunity. And when we look at this president, he's brought back economic opportunity. Well, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can. You know, look at the unemployment rate. It's at an all-time low. You can pick and choose what job you want to work at. And so I'm telling you, when you see all of that, when you see how this president has really come in, the businessman, and has mastered this and has truly been a job creator, that's what people are yearning for, to thrive in this country, and they're starting to do so up under this president.
Right, and you guys don't just talk about it. You're walking the walk. I mean, you guys single-handedly in your home are able to get better numbers ratings-wise than most of CNN. I mean,
I think, you know what, you're absolutely right, and I think that was part of why Facebook started messing with us, because it wasn't nothing back in the day for us to reach 1 million viewers. Now we're lucky if we reach that because of what Facebook and these social media platforms are doing. And then I remember when Mark Zuckerberg was up there, I vaguely remember him saying that Facebook wasn't political. Yet, if you look on Facebook, they're telling people to register to vote. So you are political. And but that's just, it is what it is. But the one thing I love about our fans and our followers, they come and they find us. They look for us.
They look for us.
They look for us, and I thank God for that. You know, it's just so sad that when you have the left-wing media and when you have these left-leaning liberals running everything from our media to everything, our social media, they can really pick and choose how whether you obtain the American dream or not.
Right.
They can shut you down methodically, without you even really knowing what's going on until it's already happened. And I think that's what's so sad. I'm just so tired of the discrimination against people based on the color of their politics.
Right.
It's time to stop that. And when you look at what's going on, especially with Kavanaugh and these and the allegations, accusations,
without accurate information equals speculation.
Right. It's just all. I don't get this. I don't get why. I just don't want Republicans to fold to foolishness. Listen, if you are being abused, you come out and you say something because we need to know. But you can't say that you're being abused, but you don't know the when, the where, how it happened. You can't do that to us. You know, you just won't be able to do that.
Right, you have to have some kind of evidence.
What's going on with Kavanaugh, you all? Well, I want y'all to understand that this Me Too movement has been politicized and has been used as a weapon to take people down.
Right.
And that's what I don't like about it. I feel uncomfortable. And I feel so sorry for our men because men don't even know what's going on. They're being taken down one by one.
Right.
And some of this stuff, it has no merit. They don't have, and what I don't like is the fact that men don't have due process in this country anymore. We automatically finding them guilty because somebody accused them of something instead of giving them due process.
Diamond and Silk, we were built on the protection of the person, that you cannot create a witch hunt mob to scapegoat and vilify and demonize any person who looks at you wrong, votes the wrong way, thinks the wrong way, has the hair combed the wrong way. We were built on Western civilization, on Christian principles, that you defend the human person from an angry, violent mob. And we're about to lose that if we don't wake up and stop letting these people run ramshot over people's innocence, you know?
Right, and
exactly.
That's why I'm telling people you're going to have to vote right so you won't get left.
Right.
You know, today is Kavanaugh, tomorrow it could be your father, your brother, your son, your husband. I mean, and look at this here. The trajectory that our country is going, this is the way the left want to take it. They want to take it in this trajectory where nobody is safe. Somebody can go back in your childhood and bring up something and try to bring you down. You may have lived an impeccable life all through your adulthood.
Yes.
But something that happened in your childhood, when do people have time to redeem themselves?
I saw a photo of a 2-year-old, or was it a 1-year-old baby, looking at a Hooters waitress a little curiously, and it said hashtag will not be allowed to run for president one day. That's for sure.
Oh, listen to this here. We were all born naked. Are we going to be accused of something for that? We was all born with no clothes on.
Right.
You see what I'm talking about? Listen, when I look at the hypocrisy, but here's the hypocrisy on the left. It's a Me Too movement until you accuse somebody like Bill Clinton, allegedly accuse him of allegedly raping somebody. Then no, he's not part of that.
Or Keith Ellison.
Keith Ellison, you know, for allegedly beating up his girlfriend, and they got proof of that. But no, you don't include that. But as long as it's somebody on the right, I see them always trying to take them down. and trying to go back in somebody's past 30, 40 years. And some of that stuff people can't even remember. I find it sad. I find it appalling. And that's why if you are a Republican and you're up under the sound of our voices, listen, you're going to have to get out. Y'all going to have to go vote. You're going to have to go to the polls, and you're going to have to vote, because if you don't vote, we're not going to know our country.
Do you think that leftism has become a cult? That's what I see it as. I think that...
Wow.
I didn't even think of it like that.
Yes.
It is a great comparison. You know what? I'm starting to think, because they're trying to push socialism so that you can suppress people. Just think about that. And look at who's trying to push it now. You got these rich elite people trying to push that foolishness. They got money, but they want everybody else to suffer up under them. You know, no. They're trying to push. Look, they're trying to push all of this globalism. They're trying to push a lot of things down our throat. So they do seem like a cult.
Right.
You know, you get out in the street, you prance around.
You worship the state.
Hat
they don't worship. Yeah.
You have your wussy hats on your head. You're half naked out there, but then you quick to accuse somebody of abusing you. Well, I feel abused when I see you wearing those derogatory hats on your head. I think that's abusive too.
But really, you know, in the ancient times before, you know, Christianity, that's how these cults, these ancient pagan ritual cults would be formed. They would always have to ritually sacrifice an innocent person to maintain the community. That's what a philosopher named Rene Girard, that I'm a big fan of, he was always exposing the kind of roots of ritual human sacrifice in our ancient past prior to Christianity. And so if you look at the roots of what the left is proposing, they are trying to reinsert that kind of paganistic value wherein you can ritually sacrifice anybody. I will sacrifice someone like Kavanaugh because I don't care if he's guilty or innocent. The cause of abortion must stay sacred.
That's right.
Or I will ritually sacrifice any human person and throw him in a cage, like what Bill Clinton did when he had that crime bill and he put more black American people in prison.
Yes, he did.
And yet, you know, that's the thing that I don't understand. You know, the left thinks that they can somehow atone for their guilt when they all voted for Hillary and Bill Clinton, when they put more people away for nonviolent, victimless crimes than anybody else.
But you know why they did that? They put them away because, see, listen, they had an interest in those prisons. Hillary Clinton was getting kickback, paddywhack, give a dog a bone from those private prisons. So they had to keep them filled. You see what I'm saying? But people, listen, I know that sometimes the left tell people to stay woke. We're telling people to pay attention.
That's right.
It's time for you all to pay attention. There is something being pushed. There is something trying to be pushed. You know it's trying to be pushed. Where you still see the Obamas out there campaigning.
Right.
You know, they walked in poor, they came out rich, they done got their kickbacks, they paddywhacks, and they still out there.
Well, the kind of woke they want, that kind of woke will only leave you broke as far as I'm concerned, because you're never going to be able to make any money when the state runs everything we do. We have no freedom. Dr. Yu, we have a physicist here. I wanted to see if you had anything you wanted to say.
Oh, hi, Diamond and Silk. So I watched so many of your videos. That was the only entertainment we got during 2016. Maybe it started early. Yeah. Because my wife was, really, spread your video to everybody. So eventually, the whole family, okay, voted the same way as you do, okay.
So now what you're going to have to do now is get the whole family and gather them up, because now we're being featured in a movie called Dummycrats.
Yes.
Dummycrats.
Right. It's going to be premiering October the 15th, so you can go to dummycratsthemovie.com to get your tickets, baby. Tickets are on sale right now, and they're going really fast.
Yeah, and I looked on, and there's screenings all over in Orlando here where we are, and in Lakeland and Tampa.
Sure you go and see this film. You know what? With everything that's going on, I know people feel like they're being beat down, and we need a little laughter. So I want you all to go to the movies. Go see the movie.
That's right.
Dummycrats the movie. You can get your tickets at dummycratsthemovie.com. Go out and see the movie, because you know what? We know the president is draining the swamp, but what we're doing is exposing the swamp, exposing the hypocrisy. We're telling you the truth with proof.
That's right.
So we want you to go see the movie.
And we're giving you the facts, Jack, and we're not holding back.
That's right.
Okay, so you two are going to single-handedly rewrite the playbook for TV media through YouTube, and now you're rewriting it with film. So you got movies. You're going to be better than Michael Moore pretty soon here.
Well, here's the deal. people. You know, Hollywood didn't invite us.
That's right.
Hollywood didn't help us with this.
So you broke the door down.
So we're going to have to. There's some new sheriffs in town, and we're going to have to rewrite the playbook, because what I'm finding out is conservatives have nothing. We always have to go to the left,
right.
and then they choose the yay or nay. Look at what they did to Roseanne and other people, other famous people. Oh, you're a conservative. I don't like you. I'm kicking you out.
That's right.
We're tired of that.
Exactly, and that's what you guys are changing. I think we got to think big picture here. You know, I know you guys are big friends with Donald Trump, and he's been a big fan of your work, but we got to think big picture, too, as he would rightly want us to think of the big picture, and that's what you're doing. On the next segment here, and we're going to take a quick, short commercial break, but I want to get into what's the big picture for what Diamond and Silk are going to do to help kickstart that revolution for the long term, so that when we have our grandchildren, we're going to say, wow, what have we accomplished? We have changed everything. We're going to be thinking about that on another side of the break. You're listening to A Neighbor's Choice. I'm David Gornoski, and you're listening to News Radio 93.1 WFLA.